Hey all, today I wanted to talk about and explain the capabilities of Neo Acacia from Toriko. My understanding of the pronunciation is that it is Acacia, that's how it's said in Japanese at least, so I'm going to use that for this video. But if you think it's Acacia, like the tree, then that's fine, whatever you want, right? I'm just using this pronunciation for the sake of ease. I will be basically using the feats of Neo and Acacia interchangeably here as well, since they essentially became the same being after Acacia ate Neo and consumed Center. Now, it seems like there isn't a lot of appreciation for Toriko in general, and I would like to cover the narrative of the series at some point, but in this video, I'm only going to go over the power scaling aspect of the series. And actually, I'd be interested to see what the comments think of the story in Toriko and whether the narrative itself is actually good. And I'm not talking about the world building or the characters, but the actual plot. So go ahead and let me know what you think about that and I might do a video on it. As for the power of the series, I'm actually willing to say that Toriko at its peak is by far the strongest of the main series shonen. That meaning shows like Naruto, Bleach, and even Dragon Ball Super. But I'm also going to offer a number of lower end pieces of scaling for the verse. The first notable feat that comes to mind is just after the appearance of God. Now, this is a very, very low end feat in the series, but my frog boy here literally ate the entire moon as his first ever action in the series. But even then, his attacks weren't enough to actually put Acacia down and kill him. We also see later that Acacia is capable of creating appetite energy hands larger than the entire planet. And they're actually stated to be capable of consuming the planet as well. Now bear in mind that this planet isn't some like dinky little thing, this isn't like the Earth, it is absolutely huge. Some of the size statements throughout the series are a bit inconsistent, but we do know that the planet itself contains enough energy to dwarf supernovae in its magnitude, which hits the very highest end of large star level, if not solar system level in AP. So every single one of these appetite hands is roughly solar system level, but oh no, we're not there, not even close. Pear directly tells us that Neo, Acacia's gourmet demon, has consumed all of blue space, which is its own universe, separate from the universe that the story takes place in. We also see at one point that Toriko uses his infinite Kugi punch, which should be a technique comprised of infinite attacks on Acacia, and is still incapable of defeating him. It's not until a combination of Neo's weakness to rage and Toriko's white gourmet demon is used that they are able to force Neo to literally throw up the infinite galaxies that were stored inside of him and fueling his power. This is further supported by the statement of the Dragon King's laser being extra-dimensional, giving us a very comfortable high universe to universe plus justification for his overall attack potency at the highest end. As for speed feats, a very early speed feat involves a statement from Coco about his poison spear, stating in some translation that it moves at the speed of light. In others, he merely says it moves at nearly the speed of light. Partway through the series, we also see that Sunny is capable of reacting to literal laser rain. A more impressive feat, far later on, is after God appears. God was able to shoot his tongue through the Toriko planet 12 times in 0.1 seconds when he was attacking Acacia. This time frame is based on the time frame that is given for other attacks that are launched during fights around this time. So let's go ahead and try and calculate this, shall we? Let's use the lowballed size of the planet from the Mother Snake statement, which gives us a circumference of 220,000 kilometers, which gives us a diameter of 70,000, roughly, kilometers each way. Times that by 24 for each trip that the tongue took, as it had to go back and forth for every attack. That's 16,800,000 kilometers in 1 second, or just over 56 times the speed of light. Even this is an incredible low end for the series though. We know that the Plum Star is said to travel across the universe, and that the Moon Shroom is also capable of swimming across the Milky Way galaxy. Mother Snake is known to easily be capable of catching and eating these prey items, easily giving us speeds in excess of billions to trillions of times the speed of light. This makes sense as well, given that we do not know how Neo travelled through blue space consuming everything, so it must have required some form of interstellar travel speeds. I'll provide a calc for this in description that lowballs this to several trillion times the speed of light. You can even make some arguments of what I would call inaccessible speeds in Toriko. Essentially, this is just the capability to move when no time has passed. I won't get into it here, but just know that these speeds are above infinite speed. This scaling comes from the numerous characters that were able to move through the world of souls after consuming pair. The world of souls lacks any real concept of time entirely, and should be impossible to move through. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether this kind of speed is consistent for the series or not, but I figured I should mention it anyway. Now onto what I think is the most interesting part of Neo Acacia, his hacks. It's important to note at first that Neo gains the ability of cells that he is able to consume. So there are many powers throughout the series that Neo should have access to due to entities or characters that he has eaten parts of. One of the most prominent abilities shown throughout the series is the ability that allows our characters to adapt their physiology to dangerous or otherwise inhospitable stimuli using their gourmet cells. Acacia's ability was so immense in this regard that it even allowed him to adapt to an environment where he would age thousands of years or more in a second. Another common ability in the verse is simply known as the routine, or as Toriko uses it, the ultimate routine. This is essentially a technique where the target and effect of the attack is reinforced through willpower to such an extent that the attack is guaranteed to occur, and this includes its effects. This is described in the verse as being similar to the placebo effect, but on a larger scale, and is essentially fate manipulation. It ties in nicely to a more advanced version of this ability, which is known as food luck, another form of fate manipulation. Food luck is more or less just supernatural luck that can, in extreme cases, just entirely prevent attacks from even being able to hit you, and more or less guarantee success in most endeavours that the person engages in. Not only does Acacia have this ability himself, but he was also shown being able to consume the food luck of others itself, completely draining it out of someone so that they could be hurt by his attacks. Now, onto one of Acacia's perhaps most powerful hacks. This is his ability to create back channels. A back channel is a connection to the spirit world that forms around the user. It allows you to travel extremely long distances, even to other universes like the spirit world, and also has an additional effect of affecting the way time flows within it. Using this, Acacia is able to create regions where time flows faster or slower, or potentially where it won't even flow at all. Acacia also has access to sealing and power null through his mastery of knocking, a technique that uses pressure points and weak points to knock out, paralyze, or even seal away his opponents. Extraordinary masters of this art, like Jiro, are even capable of knocking damage itself, preventing attacks from hurting him as long as the knocking is not released. Parts of Jiro were not only eaten by Neo, granting Neo these powers, but Acacia was also the one to teach him these techniques in the first place. Now, I want to go into two more hacks, but in order to do that, I will need to explain more about the world of souls. I've already mentioned that it is timeless, but there's more to it than this. Now, I'm of the opinion that souls in Toriko themselves are outerversal, and this comes from numerous statements throughout the series describing the world of souls as a place devoid of the concepts of space and time. We also see that during the preparation of another, that the returning memories and lives of the spirits in the spirit world was itself threatening to overwhelm and destroy the realm of souls. What this means is that Toriko characters have immensely powerful souls. Gourmet demons in particular are specifically acknowledged as souls. These creatures are capable of one day returning to the world as long as their soul continues to exist within the world of souls. Neo is one of these beings. The only given exception to this rule of regeneration is to be eaten by Neo himself. Neo's black gourmet cells devour the soul of his opponent, preventing regeneration of any sort, and also halting the cycle of reincarnation that gourmet demons normally go through. They are essentially erased from existence the moment this happens, never to return to the real world, which is just an absolutely crazy ability for even a universal character to possess. Neo Acacia is truly a monster of the series, with his only real weakness being a dislike of the taste of anger. Neo ultimately was not even properly defeated by any of our heroes, only being placated by Toriko's generosity at the end of the series. Thank you all for watching the video. More One Punch Man videos will be coming in the future. I have a debunk planned for a particular video as well, so look forward to that. I also intend to rank the Akatsuki soon, as it has been requested to me several times.